anyone else have anything else to say about this worthwhile? Because I could just drop the mic because I just don't even want to talk about it. Vaughn, you have a final thought? Nothing?
Nah, I agree with y'all. But
JJ loves to teach. Do you have anything else to educate us about, sir?
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't have nothing else to say, man. Everything, I agree with it. I mean, I don't think that Steph is overrated. But as a point guard, maybe. But yeah, I think he's a hell of a player, man. But yeah.
I mean, what I would say is that based off all the things that we have stated about what makes his game so formidable and what makes him great, I would say that though I wouldn't do it, I would say it's not insane to say he's a top 12 player right now all time.
Okay.
But not top 10.
He's in my top 15 for sure. He moved into my top 15 with the last championship.
And he's in my top 30.
But the media is going to tell you, mark my word. Look back at this show. Mark my word. They're going to start to tell you it's going to be Michael Jordan, Kareem, Bill Russell, and Steph Curry. That's going to be your Mount Rushmore.
They're going to put Steph Curry above Kobe, bro? You think they're going to put Steph Curry above Kobe?
I mean, LeBron's not going to be in the Mount
Rushmore. But the media already doesn't like Kobe. The media makes it seem like Kobe Bryant wasn't as good as I remember him being. Like, I have eyes. All the players who played in that generation say that Kobe Bryant was the best player they played against. And those are the experts of the game. But the media people, they have their own narrative. I don't know if they have against the guy, but they constantly disrespect him all the time. Your Chris Broussards, your Shannon Sharpes, your Never Right Nick Wrights. They have all these takes that somehow Kobe Bryant somehow doesn't make it as high as he probably should be on that list. So I believe Steph Curry will be ranked over Kobe Bryant. I believe that he'll be. They want to rank him over LeBron James. I don't think they'll be able to. But he's already moved Wilt Chamberlain out of the whole top 10. They have him better than
Kobe in the top.
What'd you say?
Nick Wright got Kobe in his top 6. I just
of the last 50 years, Kobe Bryant is number 6, and that's probably too low because Nick Wright is a hater. He only did that because he knew people would come at him, and he's still confused by. My thing is that Nick Wright never played the game. He doesn't really know the game. He knows his numbers, but every player that comes on that show and talks about Kobe was the hardest to guard. Kobe was the best player I played against. He tries to belittle them and bully him into his opinion. He tries to belittle them with this LeBron James narrative. Anybody who thinks Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James, he tries to destroy their narrative and make it seem like they're ignorant for thinking so. I mean, you can just see it. I mean, it's like, does LeBron have you in his pocket, bro, or what? I mean, it's so dishonest.
I mean, the last show when we were talking about, when I was talking about how Jordan, the only player of that level of natural talent, who also had that little bit of evil that he needed to destroy you, that makes him just
a little bit
who he is. Kobe's the only player who comes within that same stratosphere of like, I am really here to take your soul right now, while also having the talent. Usually it's players who lack that talent, then that extra edge is how they use that to compete against superior players. The superior player who also has that edge is Jordan, it's Kobe. I don't know if anyone else is on the list.
Well, there are players that definitely had that competition level, like Magic and Bird were killers. I think that Chris Paul is a killer. He just has
still shook hands after the game.
He still shook hands after the game. Let's not make it
in a condescending kind of way, maybe.
No, he would have shook hands.
And then he'd be like, "Come to my hotel." And I can whoop your ass at poker too. Like, I think later on, Kobe became that ambassador, and he shook hands and gave tutelage to the younger players. But early on, Kobe was trying to mirror Jordan in that way, just as he did in the rest of his game.
That's just how those guys. They were built differently mentally.
You know, Kobe and Michael. You know who they are? They're Ken and Ryu. They're the same guy, pretty much.
Street Fighter wrestling.
I feel like people make that argument though to belittle Kobe though, like that Kobe and Michael are the same. They use that argument to belittle Kobe, and I'm just
like he just copied.
But Kobe was killing niggas. Like if you're good at it, don't change it. Like why change it?
Why would you not want to emulate the best who's ever done something?
Exactly.
Right.
Like why would Larry Holmes not want to take everything he could from Muhammad Ali? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you
Right.
not try to?
And I mean, I think, and you
skills?
add your own uniqueness to it. The more you hone it, I think Kobe did that with the step back and the little eccentricities he
Why
added
would
in the
Nas
post.
not
Like,
want to take a little bit from Rakim if he could get a little sauce, a little? I don't understand.
Be honest with you, Kobe was about to shoot and dribbler than Michael.
His skill level was slightly elevated, but Jordan's athleticism and his size kind of gave him a little bit of an edge. What Bryant was able to do.
Michael
Kobe was taller.
What'd you say?
Kobe was a little taller as well.
Yeah, I think he was about
7. He was 6'7".
Kobe, he was 6'6". Jordan was 6'6". This is that Jordan was more muscular and Jordan was a little more explosive. He had bigger hands and his ability to finish at the rim. But I do think Kobe had the highest skill level, and a lot of players would attest to that. Like Chauncey Billups has said it, the highest skill level of anyone who's ever played because of his post ability, his ability to defend. But Jordan, I still would say Jordan was a better player. His understanding of taking higher percentage shots, and just finish it at the rim a little bit better than Bryant could, and some of his decision making. But it's hard to compare errors. But yeah, some of his decision making, even though he took bad shots too at times. I think Kobe's confidence was so supreme that he just believed that any shot that he took was going to go in.
I mean, I always say the biggest difference between the two is that Kobe would try to make up for the deficiencies on his squad, where within the triangle offense, what Jordan learned most from Phil Jackson is that you don't have to make up for the deficiencies if you make the rest of your squad better. And that's really what Jordan learned to do by the time they started winning those championships. And I think it's the one Jordan trait that LeBron possesses that a lot of other players from this era doesn't.
That's really all we have to say about that. I've got nothing else. Kareem Ali TV. JJ, you got something else?
No, I disagree about that. I don't think LeBron makes all the players on his team better, but I have to say that for another time.
That's a narrative that they
depending on the season, depending on the season.
I disagree right there.
I don't think you can make Russell Westbrook better.
But that's also, I think that's
might have made Chris Bosh worse.
Chris Bosh.
You said Chris Bosh?
Made him a little worse.
Damn.
Look at his numbers. Some of those guys' numbers come down.
I mean,
Kevin
he
Love,
had to succeed to
Chris Bosh,
two other big. He had to kind of succeed to Wade and LeBron.
I watched the big three, but Chris Bosh was not like a big time, four. Like he was a finesse four. Like he wasn't like rebound or anything.
He,
he did a lot of the extra
points a game, bro.
He did a lot of the dirty work when he got to Miami, though. Like in lieu of getting as many shots, like he did.
He was the reason they beat Boston that first year in like 2011. It was either 2011 or 2012. He was out for a few games. He came back, had a humongous game in Game 6 to get them to the finals.
That was the weakness as far as like not having a center. They didn't really have like a physical center or like a guy that's like Eric appeared. That didn't work.
But their perimeter defense was so strong that it just kind of didn't.
To Chris Bosh's credit, though, like he filled in a lot in that post stuff that you don't really see show up on the stat sheet as much because they didn't have someone else there.
Facts.
Like he had to do what he did, what AD has kind of refused to do in LA.
All right, well, Kareem Ali TV and All You Serious Podcasts. We'll see you next time.